Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the No Banger Sports Card
Trying to find his rhythm.
Podcast.
Yeah. Rhythm's off.
Like that was very 90s R&B grouping. I like it.
Man.
Great job,
Yeah,
guys.
dude,
I
felt like we were
went from being
112 or
mad
something, dude.
to like I'm like getting into it then there. You know what I mean? Like little boys.
Felt like we were Jagged Edge or 112
Yeah,
or something.
Jagged Edge had a banger.
I
They
love
are not
Jagged Edge.
allowed in the No Bangers podcast. They had a banger.
Where's the party at? Here tonight. Here right now. You're watching.
I'm
Boys with
joined
cards. Here we
by
go.
the illustrious co-host, Mr. Rod. I'm going to buy a case from Picking and Punching Cards, and Cary from American Arbitrage Cards, and I am Tim from Over the Years Sports, and this is episode 25. I totally forgot to say episode numbers. They're on episode 25. We're a quarter of the way to the century mark.
Yeah, exactly. We're having a quarter life crisis today.
Quarter life crisis. That's what we're having.
Yeah, based on the fact that you look like a discount Fred Durst, I would say we are.
Yeah, you can never wear a green hat backwards.
Dude, it's funny. If I wear a red hat backward on my YouTube channel, I get people always say
Everybody,
they call me-
hashtag Nookie down below. Hashtag Nookie. So.
Listen, hold on. I'm actually surprised Tim's even here.
Why?
Well, I mean, weren't you in jail over the weekend?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, the Timu Liver King man went to jail in Austin for just
I heard about that.
Yeah. You don't want to call yourself the Liver King anymore now?
No, shout out to Dan Demand. He told me I was live on dibditcards.com. If you guys aren't over on dibditcards.com, join us on dibditcards.com. We're giving away a box of cards on dibditcards.com. Once we hit 2,000 members, we just crossed the 1,700 member plateau. So as soon as we get to 2,000 members, we're giving away, what are we giving away, Rod?
Box of Optic. Retail 20-pack box for free. All you guys have to do is go to dibditcards.com and just join as a member. That's it. Once we hit 2,000, District is going to draw a winner out of all of our members, and you get this for free. Free shipping. You don't have to buy anything. All you have to do is go and sign up for Dibdit Cards.
Dibditcards.com.
Love it. Dude, shout out to dibditcards.com. Some big pulls this weekend. I pulled the Christian Campbell super short print rookie card out of a Series 1 break, which is like, it's like a $70, $80 card, but it's so hard to hit those. Like, I've never pulled one super short print rookies before ever, and I've never seen one pulled either. So shout out to, I forgot who hit it. I think it was, can't remember who it was, but somebody hit that. I pulled a Jackson Churio patch card, number to 50.
Yep.
And Keith pulled a fake dinosaur tooth. Does anybody know? We still haven't figured out what a megalodon is. Maybe a megalodon isn't a dinosaur, though.
Isn't it like a sea?
It's a giant
a dinosaur?
Yeah, it's like a giant shark, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. It's a giant shark. So he
It's a
pulled a
prehistoric
real
shark,
tooth. Not a dinosaur, not a fake, because I don't believe in dinosaurs, but...
Yeah, guys, he doesn't believe in dinosaurs, which we've been making fun of for the whole time I've known him.
So send me a message, and then I'll give you his address so you guys can his P.O. box to send him all his dinosaur cards, everything you guys want.
All my friends been giving me dinosaur stuff for the kid as a joke.
I figured they would.
I texted my buddy texted me. He's like, "Yo, I just dropped off a bunch of diapers at Ma Duke's house." And Ma Duke's is my mom. For those of you that don't know, everybody calls her Ma Duke's. And so then I sent him a picture of the baby because I was watching him this morning in the card room, and he started calling him Littlefoot from the dinosaur movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to say Never Ending Story. That's the wrong one. It's Land Before Time.
Land Before Time, yes. And then Rod,
I had a couple big hits.
Mr. Loaded Case.
Bro, I need to wear gloves. My hands are on fire right now on Dibdit Cards.
Exactly.
Pulling these cards, man. I hit the Mick Jagger Color Blaster. We did that. And then I hit the...
Color Blast, not Color Blaster.
Color Blaster. You're the one who shouldn't be spending so much money on cards. You don't even know what you're looking at or what you're buying.
I hit a Tim Elliott 101 Superfractor auto for the UFC Topps Chrome, which is cool. So we were selling packs. The fourth pack we opened up, man. We hit the first 4 packs. We pulled 2 autos, which was sick. So that was awesome. But Tim Elliott, he's a journeyman for the UFC. But still, been in UFC for many years. And it's still a 101 Superfractor, which is awesome.
I've still yet to pull a 101 card, and Rod and Cary are just over here pulling 101s all day.
Rod's just rolling. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what he's been
Nicely
doing.
played, my friend. Nicely done. I mean, I'm glad you actually bring something to this podcast. Finally,
That's it.
Friend,
That's it.
That was good.
Nicely done. So we did have some user comments this week. So one of you, we kind of messed this one up though.
Are we going to shout out the members first?
No, well, we actually had a comment on YouTube that said that for our membership levels, we need to shout out in the introduction all of our members. So Tim, I want you to start it. We'll start with you, then we'll go Cary and go me. So Tim, start with the members. Okay, Cary. Oh, yep, and then I'll get him. There we go. Yes. All right. So, guys, come join our membership so we don't have this awkward moment next week. We're
going to continue to shout out no one until we get somebody.
But shout out to everybody who did sign up for the membership.
Yeah.
So
there's none of you guys, but we still love you, all of you.
We respect it. You guys made a choice. We respect the choice, honestly. It might have been a good choice.
It shows how much they love us.
Where's Julio Franco, though? I thought he was going to be the first member.
Yeah, dude.
He was supposed to.
Pascal Perez would be awesome.
Julio probably didn't sign up because of the fact that we didn't probably properly let people know. So, guys, you guys can get this podcast for free. You guys do not have to pay to watch this podcast. But if you guys like to support the channel, we have a bargain box level for $1.99. Get a cool emojis. You get a cool things for as long as you're on the channel. And if we ever, or when we go live, actually, as us privately on like the national and other stuff, you guys can join those lives for $4.99, which is the value box level. You guys can get the podcast a day earlier. So if you guys love this podcast, can't wait for the next one, because I know there's probably 5 or 10 of you out there,
Dude,
or maybe one.
If there's nobody in our membership by the national, we should still do a members only national.
Yeah,
live.
absolutely.
Just us three, just yelling at the wind.
And then if you guys like to be like me and buy a case for $9.99, you can come support. You get all the perks, our live special videos that we'll be dropping for members only, and other things like prospecting videos. Like Tim's going to be doing one here very soon about some baseball prospects. So a lot of good value there. But hey, you guys more than welcome. Just listen to it for free. But if you guys like to support the channel, and the only reason why we started this because people kept reaching out to us, say, hey, how can we support you guys? So there it is. We got breaking news on Wednesday, July 16th at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Gary V will be coming to Dibdit Cards to do a box breaker with me, and we're going to be ripping some Topps Chrome V Friends. Now, if you guys do not know, this is a $600 box. We're starting all the packs off at $1. We'll give away a ton of V Friends merchandise. One lucky person will get a Gary V autograph card. Go join Dibdit Cards right now. I put a link down in the description down below. We'll see you guys on the 16th. Let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. Now,
I will tell you, I got some names for the name game. I actually bought these cards.
You bought, so you're cheating again.
You
this
gotta
is 2
come
weeks in a
out
row.
off the dome, bro.
Bro, we caught you last week looking up on your computer. Now
I wasn't looking up on my computer. I made a list from the score baseball break.
That's cheating.
Okay. Well, this isn't cheating. I had liked these cards and I thought it would be good.
So let me guess. You bought a checklist at the event. So now you have 100 names on the checklist. So you're just gonna read them down.
Okay. All right, let's see if you guys can figure this out. Well, Cary, we'll see if you can figure this out. All right, this is from 2005 Topps. It is numbered basketball. It is numbered to 99. This player played originally for the Grizzlies, and then played for the Kings. He went to college in Arizona.
Mike Bibby.
Yep, Mike Bibby.
Gold
Topps Mike Bibby,
Yeah, nice.
numbered to 99. Here's a cool one. This is from.
You can try two, Rod.
This is from 2008.
I'm watching the Caitlin Clark thing right now, my friend.
This is from 2008 Topps. First row basketball. I don't even remember this set.
I remember that
Baseline insert numbered to 99.
Okay.
This player on the card is in a Minnesota Timberwolves uniform. He also went crazy. He was a prolific three-point shooter in college, including his 15 for 30 blitz. God, Cary is good. Rashad McCants.
There you go.
Cary has a lot of basketball.
Number to 99.
Basketball is like my jam, dude.
That's his jam.
Basketball is probably my favorite.
This will be easy, but this is also number to 99. out of that same set, but it looks like it's some sort of different insert. It's one of your favorite basketball players. He also played for the Grizzlies and the Kings.
Oh yeah, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, my favorite.
Yeah, Sharif Abdul-Rahim
all time.
Why is he one of your favorites? Just curious.
I don't know. Like, I always liked when like the draft, like in the late '90s, I was super into basketball. The draft would come, and I would try to find like somebody that I thought it was cool to like follow somebody who wasn't like the number 1 or 2 pick. Sharif, I think, was 3 that year, and I just thought, oh man, he was solid. And then every year he was like 20 and 10, and nobody paid attention to him. And I'm like, oh, that's cool to like Sharif because he's kind of underrated. I liked the underrated guys.
This is a cool one from Flair Showcase.
He might be I think he might be the commissioner of the NBA at some point because he's already the head of the players and a NBA PA or whatever they call it. I think.
Oh.
Or the G League or something. He's like, he's high up in the NBA right now.
Wait, did you say he's president of the G League and say he's high up in the NBA?
No, it's not.
Is it like an oxymoron?
Like I forgot which thing he is. He's the president of the players. Something important. I forgot what it's called.
All right, last one. This is from Flair Showcase, which is a beautiful set, by the way.
Dude, I love Showcase.
Numbered to 3,000. This guy played for the New York Nets and accidentally killed somebody. I believe it was his limo driver.
Yeah, Jason Williams with a Y. Yeah.
Yep. It's a cool looking card.
Yeah. So
some
nice, cool, like low numbered stuff. Basketball I found in the dollar box.
So speaking about basketball, currently right now, as we're filming this, the Panini has dropped the rookie royalty WNBA trading card box, and it started out $30,000.
So we know you couldn't wait. So you put the $30K in, right? You're not going to wait till it drops.
No, I'm not correct. Spending $30,000 on a box, bro.
How many cards come in that box?
2 cards per.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's like 2 cards per pack. In that.
Yeah,
2 cards. But here's the thing: you're looking for a 101 Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese auto.
No. It's not. You're guaranteed
one or the other, right?
One of the other on card autograph, either of Angel Reese or of Caitlin Clark. It's not necessarily a 101.
Oh, sorry, I said 1 on card. Okay, my bad. I misread it. 1 on card, Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese auto. You get a 1 rookie downtown or Kaboom per box. So the internet's been outraged though about this. One is the price point starting at $30,000. Number ridiculous. 2, they think that they're watering down the product because they're putting all their big hits into one box as well. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, they're not putting all their big hits into one box. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to lose $29,050.
Yeah, they don't have like National Treasures WNBA and all this stuff, right? So they're just like, instead of making all these products, they're just putting the hits that
they're basically making a high-end Chronicles.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it, honestly. Yeah,
it's stupid in all forms and facets. It's just stupid.
Is it going to devalue like Caitlin's autos? Do you think?
I don't think so. I don't think that anything can devalue her autos. And you want to know what the crazy thing is people continue. Obviously, like you have like people that just hate on Angel Reese for no reason, which is ridiculous. Like I'm a big Angel Reese. You guys are by now. I love all women's sports, right? And but like Angel Reese is a good basketball player, and she's a brilliant business. When it comes to like how she markets herself
in the WNBA right now at that for sure.
I mean, like she literally trademarked. People kept making fun of her for the me bounds, and she literally trademarked it, made it into like T-shirts, then sold the T-shirts and donated it to anti-bullying,
That's brilliant.
Charity group. So like stuff like that. Like it's just like she gets so much heat, but she's a good basketball player. Anyways, but like. People are like, I saw a post where they're trying to figure out what the worst possible outcome you could get based upon the checklist as far as your $30,000 box. And it was a Caitlin Clark. I mean, it was an Angel Reese on-card Donruss auto and a Vonaloo, I think that's her name, who plays for the Mystics or was drafted by the Mystics. Kaboom. That would be the worst. That somebody thinks that's the worst possible combination you can get out of that box.
Do they have
which would be what, like $300 maybe, $400?
Yeah.
Wow. So as filming this, is dropped to $19,875. So my question to you is, the floor is $3,000. Does it hit the floor?
Yes.
You think so, or
think
does it
so?
sell before the floor? I don't know.
I
think
think
it sells up
Caitlin won't
before.
allow. I think the Caitlin autos will keep it probably up around because people are right. They're just gambling for that. They're just hoping that they're going to get because if you do get the Caitlin auto, it's profitable.
I think the floor is in between 5 and 8. I think that's
higher. I'm going to say
you think
9
higher.
or 10. I've heard 9, and that sounded about right to me.
I don't know, man. If it hits 3, that would be
If
insane.
it's 3, it's a buy. I'd say probably.
So,
but like,
what
but
should I buy one at 3 if it hits?
No, well, like the thing is, like you don't buy. I don't know. You don't buy boxes to make money. If you want,
I would buy it to flip.
Yeah, buy it to flip. Then yeah.
Well, I mean,
you don't
what about
open
that?
to make money because you're going to lose.
How many of those do you think are going to hit the secondary market unopened?
All of them. A lot of them, actually, probably. Because
how many of them you think are going to go through CT scans?
Probably a bunch of them. You got to be careful how you buy. I think, I'm sure DA Card World has already put out a bounty for one and stuff like that. You know, they did it with like all the other top boxes. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see.
It's ridiculous.
I just can't, like, people are pissed off at Panini because they say it's a cash grab, man. They're just trying to get every single dollar out of them.
Here's the thing, like it's like you're getting mad at a company for doing what companies do. They're losing the license, and I don't know if are they losing.
They're not losing WNBA. They have WNBA going forward.
They're just trying to maximize. I'm not saying I like it. I don't, but I can see why they're doing it. You know what I mean? As long as people buy the product, they'll keep doing it.
It's such a difference because, like, when I've been buying a bunch of stuff off Topps website, and then you go to Panini's website, and everything on Panini's website, it's a Dutch free. I don't want to say it's Dutch oven. We did that one episode. Bring that one back. Oh yeah, the Dutch oven, man. Like, and they start out like so high. At least like Topps, like they have a set price. You just go and you buy it. If you don't want it, you don't buy it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
So remember we were talking about. So for those of you that don't know, I did go to one of the biggest card shows in the East Coast this weekend. I went to the Chantilly Sports Card Show. All the big guns were out, and I went on Friday for early entry, which is no longer early entry. They just opened it up for the general public at 1:00. So 1 to 8 on Friday. Saturday I couldn't go because I had a wedding, so I went Sunday 10 to 4. I just sent these guys a picture. I was there at 9:30 thinking I was going to be a good. The line was hundreds of people in line a half hour before the show even opened. A lot of people were there for autographs, though. A lot of people were there for autographs. Chantilly always has one of the best autograph lineups. But I ended up, I think I bought exactly, weird number here. I bought exactly 600 cards in 2 days.
And what was your buy cost?
My buy cost was...
You're usually like kind of... So, Cary, let's guess what his buy cost is without him saying a word. What do you think his average buy? We hear him every week. He talks about it.
$3.40.
No, I think he's cheaper than that. I'm going to say it's going to be $1.74 his buy cost per card. You know Tim. Tim doesn't pay up for anything.
$3.40 would be him just like going crazy.
Yeah, but at 600 cards, that's I don't know. I'm thinking it's $1.74. $1.74. So what are we at, Tim?
Carry the 7, Tim.
$1.03.
Wow, $1.03. A little less. See, that was close.
I'll tell you what's crazy though is I literally remember we had the whole conversation about the red refractor rookie cards.
Yeah.
And like where we thought that they would end up. They ended up in the dollar box.
No, they did. Dude.
I literally got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them.
Okay, so let me ask a question.
Dollar box just in this stack.
The cards that you have in your hand right there, out of all those players, are they the ones that are not eligible for the Rookie of the Year redemption, or are they eligible for it? That would be a big question there, because that would make sense to me if they're just thrown in there because they're not eligible.
But they're still like, it's not like they're still rookie. I mean, they're still rookie card refractors, like short printed to some degree.
Do you think that people just didn't notice it and just stuck them in there because they didn't see the?
I think people are just. I think they're undervalued. I'm buying anytime I find a red rookie card refractor in a dollar box. I'm buying them right now. So all of them. It doesn't matter. Is there
anybody like in the AL? It's just Jacob Wilson, no doubt at this point, right?
Yeah.
Unless something crazy happens. So, and then I don't know about the NL, but.
But Cary, didn't we have a whole conversation where Tim said that this is the waste, and I kept talking about even there's still short print cards. It's like no one's gonna buy them. because of the whole
They're in the
fiasco.
dollar box, man, and it's not like Tim's gonna go sell them for $80. He's gonna make a few bucks.
I sold one. I just packed it. The Ha-Seong Kim for the Dodgers. It sold for $15.
Oh wow.
Nice.
The Roki Sasaki ones are
Kim's
selling
been
for pretty
playing
good
well
money.
too. Kim's been playing real well.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I sent you guys. I don't know if Cary saw it. I know Rod saw it. Like, remember when we were talking about the Rookie of the Year favorites? How some of them in the beginning were not die cut and others were.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Now people, I think, are selling them as miscut, uncut rookie cards.
I saw that online.
So do you think that's a thing, or is that because I sent you a couple of sold? Did you think that's just a couple of one-offs? I have to do a little bit more research, deep dive into it.
I would say they were one-offs just because the dates on them. Because the dates weren't they back in May, if I'm not mistaken? 2 of the 3 were like May sales or something like that.
Maybe.
And then the other one could just been someone just being uneducated about the situation. Because I think the die cuts and the non-die cuts are more, I don't know, they're more common than what people think. You know, compared to die cut versus
well, that's what I thought too. But now I'm not seeing the uncut ones as much as I'm seeing the die cut ones. Like, it's not like you haven't seen any of the Mojo ones that are not cut. They're all cut.
But remember, the mega boxes came out like weeks after the blasters and the hobby did. So that could just maybe
be an actual error, like something they didn't mean to put out.
That's a weird error. Like the machine just doesn't cut the card. Like I don't know.
If they're selling for a premium too? Have we come full circle in our lifetime that error cards are now sought after again? Because when we were kids, that was the thing. Everybody's like, that it's a reverse negative, Juan Gonzalez or whatever, and now we're back where people want those.
Well, Topps brought it back in the spotlight this year because of this 35th anniversary of the 1990 Topps baseball, and then that you had the no-name Frank Thomas. So they have those no-name cards in the actual product.
It's a brilliant idea, though.
I'll be right back.
I wonder if they'll do I wonder if next year if Topps is listening, which I'm sure. Hey everybody. I wonder if they're going to bring for 91 if they maybe do like a Desert Storm parallel. Remember how that was a very hard set to get in 1991?
The Desert Storm one with the little palm tree in the corner.
Just do like the little palm tree variation and do that to whatever number they want.
I think due to social media and how woke our society has gotten, they're going to stay away from anything to do with any type of war now compared to that then. Because you remember, like, back in the day, they created trading cards in like the 40s, 50s, 60s in honor of creating propaganda. Comic books, like Captain America fought like Nazi soldiers on in the comic books to create propaganda to support the war. So like I'm assuming in the early 90s they created those Topps trading cards to create propaganda to try to support the war. So
the Desert Storm cards or what? These were just the ones with the stamps were just to sell it, like to give to the troops. I think that was the actual thing. But they came out after the actual Desert Storm card. And did they come out? Would they come out during the war, or did they come out after the war? The Desert Storm cards that have the palm tree on them, Tim, were those given to troops? Do you know where that set originates from?
I have no idea.
And why it's because we were trying to think of what could be something they would maybe, because they did the no name for 90, 91. That's the thing that was rare. Maybe they could do a Top Tiffany again. They should do Topps Tiffany again and make that a parallel.
They shouldn't. No, they shouldn't, because they'll cost $50,000 for a box.
Yeah,
what's wrong with that, man?
Michael Rubin, turn it off. You can't hear this part.
Yeah, no, please no. But I will tell you, the Chantilly, that show is always very interesting because it's the last one before National, so it's a little bit not as crazy as the other Chantilly card shows, but it was still a really good show.
So I saw a lot of dealers actually decide not to go there and set up because of the Fanatics Fest was a week before, and that the Fanatics Fest was like a 5-day event. So I saw some social media shops were posting about, hey man, we're not going to be there. We'll be back in October.
Yeah, but isn't that the people we're not really buying from anyway? Because the Fanatics Fest dealers are the people who are, showing off $20,000 cards or whatever.
A lot of people were saying that they made more money at Fanatics Fest than they did National.
Yeah. Because they had a lot more just general collecting, general fans compared to the National. It's going to be all hardcore fans.
Saying,
you know what I mean?
I'm saying the people who didn't show up maybe were the bigger vendors who didn't, weren't just putting out $5 bins or $10 bins or whatever.
Shout out to my guy Dollar Dave if he's watching. That guy has He's got the killer dollar boxes, bro. He just lines it up, organizes it by sport, and it's probably like 6 or 7, more than that. Probably like most of them have, I'd say probably 8 or 10 4-row boxes for each sport, and it's all dollar. And then he has a separate box that's autographs and relics that are $3. And then he adds like a 2-row box for non-sport, 2-row box for WNBA, 2-row box for something else too. I can't remember what it was. The only 2 things he didn't have was soccer and hockey. But yeah, and then he reloads them as they empty, because they empty. It's kind of crazy. So like, and there's a lot of people there that listen to the podcast. So shout out to everybody that came up to us and said they listened to the podcast, man. And I
want to go to Chantilly now that I'm on the East Coast.
I definitely want to go. So
the next big one is.
Me and Cary had to come up for that. I definitely want to go check it out. I will tell you, I was talking to, I don't know if it was Tim or Cary, I forget which one of you guys was talking about this, but I'm really focusing on, when we go to national, and focus on going to some of these bigger shows, about the non-sport boxes, man. Like, I think there's a big play for like Leaf card, not like the celebrity cards and stuff like that, because people will just get them. They're not looking them up. They throw them in their case. People forget about them, and some of them have some really good value, man. I don't know, something to take a look at, because a lot of dealers don't care about that. They just open it up because it's nostalgic, throw it in their case, because they're focused on their baseball, focused on their football, focused on their moneymakers. So I think it might be a good play.
When we go out to flip anything, because we flip other stuff, and
yeah,
you go to somebody's house that's having a garage sale, and you could tell they were video game people, but then they got other stuff that isn't video game related that's valuable. They have no attachment to, and they'll sell for pennies on the dollar. That's
the biggest thing. So like when people go to card shops or go to card shows, you want to find the stuff that dealers do not value, or the things they don't care about. Like if their entire table is full of baseball, you want to focus on things. I was wondering, I was like,
Camden, what's up, baby Camden?
What's up, baby? He just spits out his thing. Wow, he's getting, dude, he's got a full head of hair already. That's Tim's not. He's not even hooked up yet. For those who don't know, Tim walked away, had to pick up his baby there. Tim forgot we're doing a podcast today, so he's just got up and left like 4 times throughout the show so far. You're on baby duty right now?
Yep. Josie got called to a meeting, so Camden is making his world
debut
premiere on the podcast.
What's up? The youngest Baltimore Orioles fan right there.
Camden and Tim had the same budget right now, $0. Oh man! So we were just talking about. Hey, so at your card show, do they have any quarter boxes, 10-cent boxes, or everything $1 and up?
They don't have like 10-cent boxes, or I don't necessarily think I've seen 10-cent or quarter boxes, but I have seen boxes that are 20 for $1, stuff like that, or 10 for $1. I found 6 Jacob Mizorowski first Bowman papers in one of those boxes.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I mean, those are selling for $5 a pop right now.
Yep.
So I basically like that's a killing, and sort of as your ROI kind of goes. So
that's why we're hunting the dollar boxes, stuff like that.
I'll tell you, I had a really interesting conversation with a guy. The guy was just like, "Yeah, I got these like random boxes of baseball." Like he was like a crazy like New York guy, and he's like, just I'm like, "What about the prices on these?" He's like, we'll figure something out.
Baseball cards are dead. I don't care what they say about the 52 Mantle, the 53 Perez. It doesn't matter.
Did you see his clip? That video?
The flea market guy outside with the ponytail. That guy was
trying
awesome.
to figure out what a 53 Perez. I'm like, who was that guy? Was that somebody that I missed?
I've come to the conclusion that people at the flea market just live in this bubble. That's it. Like the rest of the world doesn't matter. They just live in this like their own they're stuck in time at the flea market.
Dude,
and whatever price is able to come up, that's their price, and that's it.
It hasn't evolved since like '78. It's the same business model, the same situation, same stuff they've been selling, which could be good or bad.
All right, Tim, you're talking about your New York guy.
Yeah, so he gave me. Didn't mean to startle you there, bud. I pulled out a Jack Caglione, because there was some good stuff in there, and there's some stuff like why was it in there? So it was definitely random. I pulled out a Jack Caglione first Bowman Chrome, Jack Caglione first Bowman Refractor, 2019 Topps Baseball Day gallery of Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, Junior Caminero Topps Chrome update rookie card, and a Jackson Holiday Bowman Chrome rookie card. What do you think? What do you think I got that whole lot for?
$5.
I'm gonna say $3.
What? That would be a dream. The guy was like, first he put them all and he started sorting them, and he was like, I don't know, like, what do you think these are worth? And I was like, I don't want to tell this guy what I think they're worth, Like, it wasn't like a negotiation sort of tell me what do you think these are worth. So then he saw the jacket, and he's like, I gotta look this guy up. This guy's worth something. He's like, I tried to grade all these, and I kept getting 9s. So, I'll give it to you. This card right here is a $35 card. I give it to you for $20. And then he started counting all the other ones. I'm just like, I just give you $35 for all of them. And he was like, all right, I was trying to get him lower. And then he was like, well, you can have some of these other cards. And then he's like, sometimes you got to know when to just cut it and just take the deal, because then he starts realizing that he might be giving me too good of a deal. Yeah, and then he's kind of trying to change it. He's talking himself out of it. I'm like, all right, it's okay, bro. I'll take it.
Well,
for $35.
If he adds cards, then he's just going to be charging you full comp at that point.
So it was, but I think the Jack first Bowman Refractor will probably sell for $35.
Well, we were literally talking about 10-cent and 25-cent boxes there, so that's why me and Cary probably put so low. I was
we know that you're always finding the deals. So,
but I thought he was going to say $50 or something super go real high on that, just because you say the way he was a New Yorker. But since we were talking about the 10-cent and 25 cents, so I was like,
but that to him was 10-cent, 25-cent boxes.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of those guys there when in that. Speaking about Superfractors, though, what were you telling me earlier about the show? About the show? Cards. No, before the show, I mean.
Oh, yeah. So what I found out was, somebody had posted a picture of the Junior Caminero first Bowman Chrome, who, by the way, is having a fantastic year. Yes. The Junior Caminero first Bowman Chrome Superfractor Auto. Okay, so it was originally graded in 2022 by BGS, and it got a 6.5 from BGS.
Wow.
Okay.
6.5.
And then somebody else saw the card again this weekend, and it was now graded a 9.5, and the autograph was different.
What?
So they were like, what's the deal here? So apparently you can, if a card is a 101 and it is BGS graded or PSA low for a 7 or lower, you can send them in and they will give you a new card.
Dude, where does it say that? Their website, or
I have no idea, but there's a whole thread.
Maybe it's on the back of the packs, with all the stuff on the back.
You can't read that. There's 1,000 words on here. They're so tiny.
Yeah,
but that's weird.
Hours.
So that's a good play though. If you go to sports card shows and people have a 101 sitting in the case, and if that's true, and then it's low and it's for a couple $100 or something, you can buy that and just send it in. And I mean, is there a cutoff time on it?
Here's something interesting. They say that according to Topps website and Google search, Topps is required to replace anything that was sent as a redemption that grades lower than an 8.
No, a redemption card.
But I don't know if that was a redemption or not.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense, because Topps has the card and they're sending you the card directly as a redemption, and it comes back. That means that they damaged it somewhere along the line.
Yeah,
not
somebody else says that if you can prove it came straight from a pack and grades a 7 or lower, they will replace it at Topps.
Oh, okay. So now everyone has to film their content and open up every single pack of cards just in case if you hit a 101 Superfractor. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
So, Cary, what about you, man?
Be needy.
You go to any sports card shows this weekend?
This weekend, I went to the Card Party 3 Pokemon show. So I didn't go to a card show because there really wasn't a card show in this area that I could find anywhere. There's 2 next week that are good. But basically, Dave, our buddy Dave, his daughter's super into Pokemon. He's like, you want to go with? Because he's not really that into Pokemon. So me and Don went, and it was fun. I learned a lot about Pokemon culture.
Was the guy there performing?
No,
Gotta catch
that
them
was
all.
the the gotta catch 'em all guy. There was a post. There was like a table with his face and design and logo on both sides, but I didn't see him. I would have been. I just really wanted to do another video where I was just in front of him, just super hyped up like I was last time, just living my life, listening to the music. But it didn't happen. But I learned a little bit about Pokemon culture that's interesting, and it seems accepted in the culture that I think would be ripped apart in sports cards, which is like the weighted versus unweighted packs.
No, granted, that's for people who don't know what that concept is. Back in the day, this is for vintage Pokemon only, not for new Pokemon. They could weigh the foil packs, and if it had a higher weight, then it had a foil card inside. If they weighed the other packs, it was under a certain weight, then it's more likely you're not going to have a foil in it. So people actually price those differently at shows and stuff like that. But he had a big sign on his case. That's what created the controversy for you, right?
Well, there was controversy on a couple. First off, I thought it was weird that they weighed anything. I guess that's acceptable. I don't think it's cool still. I don't think they should be weighing them. I think you just open a box or you get packs and you sell them, and it's just the way packs have always been. But let's just say that's accepted. But the way he did it is he put unweighted and he put heavy. So everybody, of course, assumes that if it says unweighted, it means it's light, right?
Yeah.
Because why would he not weigh those if he's already putting together a section that's heavy?
Do you think he just mislabeled the case? Like he should have used the term heavy and light?
Allegedly, it seems like it was misleading to me the way he did it. Like it was trying, that's what it felt like. I could be wrong, though. Allegedly.
Okay, you got to hear something really crazy?
Yeah.
There was a guy at the card show on Sunday, and he was passing these out.
What is that?
The Hidden Casino. Recover your losses. I don't have my glasses
Oh,
on.
wow. It's a lawyer ad.
Oh, wow.
Exposing the hidden casinos, your legal rights in the world of breaking. The Vartazarian law firm, in partnership with GN Attorneys at Law, are bringing the truth about breaking to light. Sign up to protect your rights. Platforms like Whatnot and Fanatics Live have turned card collecting into high-stakes gambling through a practice known as breaking. While marketed as entertainment, these activities mirror the structure of illegal gambling, leaving thousands of consumers with substantial financial losses. We are leading the legal fight against these platforms to hold them accountable and to obtain for all compensation for all consumers. Recover your losses.
Wow, that's. I mean, I knew it was going to eventually come down to this, but like the fact that he's walking around handing that out, it's interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's more so like not actual breaking. The guy was explaining it to me like I cared. And he was explaining to me that like if it was like with the wheels and the duck races and all that
just
stuff.
Just go to the card shows is like that. The Pokemon show was filled with spinning wheels stuff that honestly they shouldn't be doing. I understand they're trying to make some extra money and stuff, but that's stuff that's sketchy, honestly, if you're doing it at a card show. Because there was a lot of this is what I noticed there. The bigger tables weren't doing that. They might be breaking and doing all that, but not at the tables. They were just selling cards or buying cards.
At Collecticon, though, like a lot of the bigger tables had stuff like they had the Plinko one set at a huge vendor. They had they wouldn't spin the wheels. But I mean,
like I don't know. I wouldn't be doing that at a table I was running for sure.
I mean, it's no different than buying a mystery box.
I wouldn't be selling mystery boxes either.
You bought mystery boxes at the National last year, didn't you?
No, I would buy them, but I wouldn't sell them.
You wouldn't sell them, okay? But I'm just saying, if you're stepping the National, that's a.
I don't really buy mystery packs. I bought the mystery what is that we bought last time?
Wax
David
boxes,
Adams,
the blaster, the blowout box.
The blowout boxes, yeah, those were kind of fun.
Those were a lot of fun.
Those were.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get some of those this year. Definitely with that.
I can imagine that.
Was he set up, Tim, or was he just walking around passing out the flyer?
He's just walking around passing out the flyers.
So can you imagine if they get like a booth at like the National, like next to Whatnot, and they're literally just sitting there, like passing it out to people? Like that can be considered a conflict of interest.
Yeah, I mean, he gave it to me outside. I went outside, so like he was walking around though with them, and like he was making a big deal about it for sure. But I just think that. I don't know, like that sort of stuff is sketchy too. Like they're obviously trying to make money themselves. They're like, well, you don't have to pay anything unless we get money. If we get you money, then you have to pay us.
So they're just trying to get enough people to sign up for a class action lawsuit. What they're trying to do. That's what.
And then the guy's like, I just started an Instagram and I already had like 3,000 followers, and Instagram shut me down.
Well, because he's probably doing it wrong, incorrectly.
Probably doing it wrong. Yep. 100%.
I don't know. I mean, what's your thought? You think they actually have a case though?
Hell no. Hell no.
Speaking about a game of chance, let's see what this guy, Caitlin Clark is at. The rookie royalty box is at the 16,500 right now, and it's about to drop again in about 15 seconds.
How long are the intervals of the drops?
5 minutes. 5-minute drops.
It doesn't tell you what sells at what price, right? Until it's over, or
it just disclose that. Yeah, it doesn't. They don't disclose any of that. They don't even tell you how many are actually even made. That's another. It's down to 15,375 right now. Every 5 minutes, the price drops, and it goes all the way down. We have 59 minutes and 54 seconds to go before this thing hits the floor. So, I mean, it's almost halfway there.
Hit the floor and not sell out too?
Yeah, I'm sure they have. I mean, what do they do with that product though? That's interesting. I mean, another thing though, we talked about Panini losing the licensing to all the major sports, and then we talked about what are they planning on doing next. They just signed Major League Wrestling, which is MLW, which is a lower level, wrestling company. I mean, you have the best way to put it is you have a lot of guys that come over from who get released from the WWE, or the top guys on the independents can get signed and wrestle there. They do, they wrestle maybe a monthly show, might do a weekend or something like that. But I mean, they do have a national TV contract, which is I forget, it's some type of weird network that goes international, but they're in 30 countries and stuff like that.
They get a lot of guys who were once famous.
They have Matt Riddle there, and they have but they only sign them they'll sign them for 3 months, 6 month contracts, just use them for the name value and stuff like that, and then move on. So, and they just rotate guys through. But I find it interesting that Panini, they announced that they signed them to do their own brand of cards because they lost.
Solution. They got Major League Wrestling now. They don't need to worry.
I mean, they lost the WWE, so that's the next thing.
The Rolling Stones, though, I'm not gonna lie. Watching Rod open that box with it, that looked like a lot of fun.
That seems like more of a play to me, is to get into more of those entertainment. And I think there is a major desire beyond sports card people for that kind of stuff. The Rolling Stone stuff could go in a Hot Topic. That could go in other places, and sell for people who don't collect cards but just think it's cool.
I think it's a great idea, man.
The music market.
Yes, music market.
I think whoever's hot right now, you could just get any of the major new artists. You could get some of the, a Beatles box, which probably would be very expensive for them to get licensing for. That kind of stuff could be massive.
I mean, they got Rolling Stones. I mean, Rolling Stones is, Hall of Fame, rock band. I mean, I would love to see Metallica. I would love for Metallica box set. Let us know down in the comments down below which rock band or which music performer you want to see Panini sign to do next. Because
they should just re-release Yo MTV Raps and
cool.
and the rap stars.
That'd be a great idea.
I want some Tupac or Biggie cards. We just missed that cutoff with the rap cards and the Yo MTV Rap. That was a year or two right before Tupac and Biggie started coming up there. So all those cards, we got the other Dr. Dre, but I mean we have Ice Cube, you have Ice-T, you had Eazy-E, the NWA was in there, but you don't have the other cards. So
Digital Underground has a card. I think. I don't think know if he's in. I don't think Tupac's on the card though. I think.
I don't think he's on the card. Yeah, on there. So it'd be quite interesting. We did have some speaking of interesting, we had some comments on the YouTube, and Wilkinson, over in Dibdit Cards.
Yes.
He's over there. Yes, he actually commented. He said, "When I was I thought this was interesting. When I was a kid, they called it trading cards for a reason." He's like, I wasn't a reseller. I was there just trading my cards to my friends. And I thought that's interesting because we call it trading cards all the time, but no one's really trading that much anymore compared to, once they were growing up as kids.
It seems like a culture shift for sure. I mean, when I was a kid, I was trading cards all the time. The time.
Tim, you didn't trade at all growing up, man.
I've been a seller my whole life.
Yeah. But I found this interesting. He said that he buys differently, for his personal collection versus the resale, which I could see to a point. But my question is like, shouldn't you buy, if you're buying for your PC, shouldn't you buy that potentially that, because at one point in time, we all sell our collection. I don't care if you're a hardcore collective fan, never plan to sell your collection. At the end of the day, you're either going to die or you're going to end up selling off your collection. One way or another, it's going to get sold at some point in time.
Thanks, Rod. That just made it sound really.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
you either
eventually,
die
like,
or you sell it.
but like eventually you're going to have to sell.
Everybody's going to die.
Sell your cards to me now before you die.
Spoken like a real reseller right there. A real reseller. One of them scumbag resellers.
I'll put my email down below, guys. So if you want to sell me your collection, go ahead. But no, but it's just I thought it was interesting because at one point in time, I mean, you always bought the resell all the time. Cary, you actually collected though back in the day. Did you ever think when you were collecting that you should buy things that were going to hold their value later on, or you didn't care because it's just for your PC?
I don't think people thought. I mean, people did think like that. I definitely didn't think about. I mean, I think you had vague thoughts that this could go up in value. I was very aware of the value of the cards, though. I had a binder with my little round stickers that I got from Kmart or whatever.
Yard sale stickers?
I would go to, the yard sale stickers, and I would go through my Beckett and be like, oh, this Sharif Abdul-Rahim rookie is worth 15 cents. And I would stick it on the front of the page and everything. And that's what I did. So I loved that aspect of it. I did one card show. I did one table when I was when I was a kid in the 90s. So I wasn't really a reseller till the mid 2000s when I was in college, and occasionally I would literally go on eBay and buy singles to build a mega lot, and then I'd sell the mega lot, started at $1, and I'd make money. And it was just fun. I just did it for fun because it brought me joy. But yeah,
interesting. Well,
I've always collected. Yeah, I was a collector pretty much entirely up until that point.
So we are going to the National, all three of us. So the National, when you guys are listening, Tim's still waiting for his media pass. All right, so please let's respond to his email sooner before later so we can get that there. But let's talk about a little bit of prep work for the National coming up, man. I mean, what are you going to do differently this year that you did last year? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Are you guys going to play them?
I'm going to open 2 packs of the Panini cards this year and double dip, so to speak. Last year it was 34,500, so my goal this year is to see if I can get 70.
For those that don't know, those may be listening for the first time, Cary hit the 101 Caitlin Clark national exclusive card last year
in 1 pack. So yeah, I think 2 packs I should double my odds, right?
It's because you're a social media influencer, right?
That's one of my goals. Is not to. Oh yeah.
That's why they gave it to you.
That was that was just a whole, so many things happening all at once that was so random. That is not the case. Trust me, that was so random that it happened. But I want to try. Gosh, I don't know. I need a plan is what I think. I need a plan. I want to do some bargain boxing, but I really want to focus on like $5 to $200 cards. Stuff that when I flip, it's a little bit more money up front than just grinding out $2 profits here and there. That's kind of my goal.
What about you, Tim? What are you going to do differently?
I think I might bring an extra pack of triple ply this year. Last year, by the time we finished at 127, I was down to like 1 roll of triple ply. So just to be careful, and I might pack a little bit extra Charmin this year.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
That's a good way to plan, man. So since this is going to be my first national going to, I mean, do I go in there and focus on? Is there going to be a lot of stuff I'm going to sell out right in the very beginning? Do I need to focus on exclusives? I need to focus on getting waxed? Do I want to dig through the bargain box when I first get there, or do I want to dig through later on? Do I take it all in? Like what do you guys recommend for me to do?
It, man, you need the first day. The nice thing is we'll be there like on the Wednesday. You need to walk around and kind of just get the lay of the land. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. If there's a box that looks fun, look at it. Kind of just get the lay of the land. See what areas are most interesting to you. The one thing you have, obviously you can't get every deal on the floor. There's too many of us out there digging. But you got to get a lay of the land and find spots that you like, and then just realize that you have another day. 5 days, all day, which me and Tim are going to do. Like me and Tim are there all day. There's going to be plenty of times to look, make deals. You know, if you're on a budget, try to budget yourself every day. This is my limit unless you find... you don't have a budget, Rod, but like people like me and Tim...
I do have a budget. Come on, man. I got a budget.
People like me and Tim have to think about like what we're buying and how much we want to spend on a given day. So.
Yeah, like I think that's the thing is that like I go to card shows every weekend, right? So it's National I think the best thing advice that I can give is just because it's national, it's still a card show, right? Like that's the thing that's most important. And like, so everything that you do at a card show, any other card show, do it national. And I think what Cary's saying though is super important too, the lay of the land, because this is, even though Cary and I have been to nationals before, I've never been to a national at Chicago. I've only been to Cleveland Nationals. I've only been to Atlantic City Nationals. So we're all walking in there completely blind. Like we don't really know who's where, what's where. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, it's just a matter of, because like on my first day at Chantilly this weekend, I was into it took me 3 hours and I only did 3 tables, right? And so, like, sometimes you just got to roll with the punches.
It's also just like Card Show 101. If you walk in and the first table is hot and you're finding cards and you're digging for an hour, but you are finding things that you can flip for a profit, then stay at the table. You know, especially on a 5-day show. You know, like if that first table's hot, spend the time. You don't have to rush to see everything because, you know, you don't know if that was the best table or not until the end of the show.
So I think the interesting thing is all 3 of us are pickers. We've traveled across the country, going to highway sales, stuff like that. So we will go and we will take on expenses such as hotels, Airbnbs, food on the road, gas along the way. So we have to make sure that we get a ton of stuff when we go out picking, you know. So how does it vary? Because I mean, Tim, I know you have a lot of card shows around you within like a 2-hour radius. Cary, you've traveled from you know, from Vegas to LA or Vegas to California to go to card shows and stuff like that. What is your mindset when you guys have to travel to a card show compared to doing a local one? Because you have to offset all those additional costs along the way.
I mean, it's the same thing. You make all your money in the buy. So it's like,
so do you buy differently then? Because do you try to buy bigger cards then because you need bigger profit margin? Do you buy more cheaper cards because you need to offset the additional expenses?
Well, I think you have to. I look at cards that I think I could sell fast.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the biggest things. Like a card, like I'm looking for cards that I know I'm going to be able to flip. Like
you want liquid stuff.
More liquid stuff. And I think that this is the thing is that like when I'm bargain boxing, I'm not bargain boxing to buy dollar cards. I'm bargain boxing to buy $10 cards for $1. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, like that's the thing. It's like I know that if I need money, I can go live and sell those cards, starting them at what I paid for them that night, and I can make money.
And that's part of the play too. Like I imagine almost well, I'm 100% sure me and Tim, and you probably will too, Rod. Like we're probably going to do some lives on the road because that helps make it simpler for us, you know, because the thing about, you know, being gone for a week or whatever, and we're going to be gone even longer than that, is the bills don't stop, right? So you still need, you know, and you're spending more money. So we might need to sell a little bit more. Another thing, honestly, and this is all 3 of us, is Nationals is a huge content play for us because we all do content. So like we should, when I go into a place like this, and you know, Rod, you think about this even more than I do, like I need to make more than I spend probably on the content beyond just making money on all the stuff that I'm buying. So I should be able to triple my money or quadruple my money because of the content angle. And I make money so many different places in content that I could definitely do that. So that's part of the play for me too.
So I mean, full disclosure, like I don't make any content, make any money on like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, anything like that. Yeah, I make money on YouTube, but it's gonna be a fraction compared to, you know, potential I could make if I was monetizing all those other platforms.
And I make money on every platform.
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. I'm making it every.
But I mean,
plan.
I think for people out there listening to this, it's not so much that you want to make content focus on the monetization part of it. You want to make good content so you get people to follow, because the monetization is going to come and the money will come down the line, but you have to put out good content, good video.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but you have to put out good content, so you have to make it. Like obviously you make content that's good, and if you know what you're doing or you're trying to learn to do it, you're going to see what works and what doesn't. I enjoy the content part of this just as much, if not more sometimes, than the picking. Like the digging. I don't talk about it so much because that's not shown on the channel. I'm talking about sports cards, but I mean, that's a whole nother angle to this.
Tim just got up and left. Like the podcast.
But to be fair, anybody who is aspiring, and I'll just say this, I know this isn't so much about content, but I think it's interesting.
No, good.
If you're aspiring to make money or do content and gain a following and maybe make some money, you don't have to go to national for it. You could be at your hometown show. You could be at a local flea market, right? and you can make content that could go just as viral as one from the National. So that's not necessary. But if we're going to the National, that's definitely like I last year put myself under a ton of pressure to do a video every day after my day. And I was up, like we were hanging out till like midnight, 11 or so. And then I would spend another hour and a half to edit my video before I went to sleep. And I wasn't using, like I had to do tricks like that I've learned from doing content for years. So I was using a lot of phone footage because that's easier to get onto my, because I edit everything on my phone. So I was using a little bit of GoPro footage mixed in with phone footage so that I could edit a video. I was having Don hold up the camera so I could talk so I didn't have to voice over later. A lot of little tricks. That was fun.
Yeah, that's smart, man. That's definitely smart. I'm actually excited though. I think what people need to realize when it comes to cards and like content, and these shows are good for networking though too. I think that's the biggest thing is to help get your name out there. You're networking, you're walking around, get the people. You put yourself in, surround yourself with where you want to be. They always say that to be successful, surround yourself with successful people, or go to places where you want to be, people are. That's the biggest thing on there. So part of the reason why we had Tim come on this podcast because he wants to be just like you, Cary.
Yeah, he's my little guy.
He's your little guy there, stuff like that.
I'm just kidding. Tim is like, and a lot of people don't know this about Tim. Tim is not only probably
a bum.
I would say the most. No, he's like the most gifted, probably bargain boxer or like picker.
Yeah,
I would say probably of the three of us, at least in cards.
Absolutely.
But like beyond that, like Tim is. If you guys ever follow his regular channel, just over the years, he's as much of an expert on like glass and everything, and just an all around terrible guy, Tim.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Yeah, I hate his.
We were actually saying nice things about you, but we just
the baby started falling asleep, so I was like,
you were saying that you were.
I thought you fell asleep. You just got up and left. So you just got up and left there.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we were talking about. So tell us about your biggest picks.
From when,
Tim? Well, yeah, me and Cary just got done talking about it, so go ahead. The floor is yours.
From when?
Yeah, floor is yours.
Yeah, floor is yours.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I guess the Zaire Hope is probably one of the best ones.
We're just messing with you, man. Dude, you know what? The people are going to be mad. I'm going to get so much crap in the freaking episode because of you two now. I just realized this.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's true.
You guys didn't play the damn name game. Now they're going to say that I am the one who ruined the name game.
You
guys didn't play the name game. Like, you guys have been off today.
Steve Garvey. We haven't been doing it. We should just
I know. You guys haven't been doing the name game there.
We've been serious.
I know. Tim was in baby mode.
This is the life of a full-time reseller and dad. Like, I don't really have it. Sometimes you just get hit with that. I would say, listen. I'll give you a different bit of a name game. So I've been pretty good about giving people guys, right?
Yeah.
And, obviously we don't give financial advice here. And the play is always to buy not low end, but not like risk it all. Like, don't go out and buy a guy's 101 Superfractor because you think he has a chance of blowing up, right? But like the play can be there. So, like I just dumped a bunch of Hunter Goodman. Hunter Goodman's like been playing really well for the Colorado Rockies. Yeah. So his stuff's kind of selling. Like those are cards that like, that's why like sometimes it's good to keep your cards organized, because I just go into the Rockies and I'm like, damn, I got this whole stack of Hunter Goodmans. And like I just listed them all and just like, they might sell. Obviously the Jacob Mizorowski, like the day he got called up, I put that post up on Instagram. I had bought that card for $1 at the card show like 2 days beforehand, and like now his first Bowman paper, which people always want to throw away, are selling for $5 right now. Piece of Bowman first paper, $5 for just the paper. But like Chase Burns, who just got called up for the Cincinnati Reds, we talked about him last week. Like he had a fantastic debut, but like there are some guys that are still a little bit expensive. But if you can find them, there are guys that are kind of mixed into the dollar boxes, like Bubba Chandler for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I picked up a Prism auto of his at the card show. The guy had $10 on it. I know him, and he's a dealer at National. I'll introduce you to him when we go there. But like I always see him at the Chantilly show, and he always takes care of me. He has showcase stuff, and then he has really nice dollar boxes. I'll tell you, I saw him on Friday, and this guy was looking through the Star Wars section of his like bargain box, and he was like, do you like Star Wars? The guy had like a Star Wars shirt on. He's like, yeah. He's like, take the whole row. And he's like, no, it's okay. He's like, $20. I looked at the guy like, you better take that deal. And the guy was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to take all these home. And I was like thinking about, I was like, damn, maybe I should just buy this whole row for $20 and run it on Dibdit Cards. I came back the next day. He was like, yeah, you should have bought that row, Tim. Or I came back on Sunday. He was like, you should have bought the Star Wars row. I was like, you sold it? He was like, yeah. I was like, how much you get for it? He was like, $80. I was like, he's like, you should have bought it. I was like, I guess I should have. But like, anyways, he had it for $10, and I didn't think twice. Like, I'm like, $10. Like, I'll buy a Bubba Chandler auto for $10, right?
Oh yeah.
Then that Prism
I would
auto,
buy pretty much. I mean, I think I would buy almost any brand too at that price without.
and
really
it's
thinking
selling
much
for
about
$40 right now, $30 to $40.
I mean,
for
do
that
your
Bubba
research
Chandler
and
auto.
everything. Not financial advice, but also like something you guys should be looking for right now if you're going to a card show this weekend or the next weekend is and do your research. Like, look these cards up, but look at the Leaf baseball right now. There's a lot of guys that are going into the MLB draft coming up. I think on the 13th or the 14th of July. I mean, Ethan Holiday's the obvious one, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff with Seth Hernandez. I've done pretty decent the last couple.
You just picked
weeks
some up.
With,
Yeah,
I
with
picked
this
up a
stuff.
1 of 1 Seth Hernandez.
Yeah.
But I've sold 2 of him. Like, I mean, I sold one for $20 that I got in a 2 for $5 section a couple months ago, and I probably paid $1.50. I didn't pay even that. So, I mean, like, those were, like, they were just Leaf cards that somebody's opening those Leaf products, looking for the big hitters. They're not everybody is educated on like, the high school guys or the guys that may go in the next draft that aren't in Bowman already, right?
Yep.
And they just throw them in those boxes thinking it's just a common, which, you know, it might not be a big hitter at that moment, but it was worth more than I paid at the moment I bought it, and it went up from there.
I'll give you another one. Same concept. Panini Stars and Stripes.
Oh, dude. Super
So
slept
I
on.
just sold 2 cards from Panini Stars and Stripes. I ran both of those cards at one point on Whatnot and on Dibdit Cards for $2, and nobody bought them. And when Cary and I started talking about this, like, I feel like it was about 2 weeks ago, you know, because they have the top draft prospect list on the top 100 prospect page.
On the pipeline, yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, I went and I just cross-referenced the cards I had to see if any of the names were on there. And Gavin, I think his name is Gavin Fine. I picked up another one of his cards, but I had a patch auto of his. It sold for $30, and it
Nice.
literally I paid like $1 for that card. And then I sold another one of I can't remember the other guy's name. Billy Carlson, maybe I think his name is.
Yeah, Billy Carlson's going to be a top pick. I think.
But he's on the top 15 guys. So I kept that list on me at the card show, and when I was looking through boxes, so that I could, because I'm
feel
not
like the USA.
memorizing
I mean,
yet.
the USA, dude. I mean, once again, like, not financial advice, but like, if you're getting dollar patch USA and they're like from the last 2 years, I mean, I think you can make an argument to just buy them all.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those guys
put them in a box.
are 15 and under.
Yeah.
So it's like, you just stash them.
It's another thing. Like, I mean, I open up the boxes for content and the revenue that comes from that primarily. But like, when I see like the Team USA boxes on clearance from last year, where I got the Bryce Eldridge that I pulled, or like even an Elite Extra Edition from 2022 I was finding for discounted at Walmart that has Jesus Mate in it and stuff. A lot of those weird products that people don't like end up having prospects that hit, and then they get discounted at a Walmart or a Target 2 or 3 years later. You know, and people don't realize, oh, dude, there's a Jackson Holidays in there. There's Bobby Witt's in there, or whatever. It's a little fun, sneaky thing.
2 names I was buying a lot of this weekend is Colson Montgomery and Justin Crawford. 2 guys who I think are of potential to get called up soon. Some people don't think Justin Crawford will get called up because the Phillies are pretty stingy about calling up their guys. But, I mean, he's dominating right now.
So I got a question for you then with all this that we're talking about here. I find this interesting. There's been players throughout the last 20, 30 years that have really kind of pushed the hobby to the next level. You know, like Tiger Woods for golf cards, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, like Victor Wembanyama, like stuff like that happened. Last year we had Paul Skeens. So did Paul Skeens make last year the year of the pitcher, or do you think going forward now is like this is the year of the pitcher? Because we're seeing a lot of these pitcher cards, people that are pitching, their cards are worth a lot more than they have previous years.
I mean, that's what I was telling people. That was it's crazy. That was one of my pet peeves It's been one of my
Yeah,
pet
I know
peeves
you
is
talked
that
about that
Peachers
before.
not getting enough love.
Yeah.
And then like when the whole Paul Skeens thing was going on, we were talked about it, and I was like, this is going to change the market for pitchers. And I think obviously you have to remember that everything changing right now is a large part and due to the social media world that we live in, right? Because
Yeah, very true.
like before it was like you had to wait to watch SportsCenter to get the top 10 plays. Now it's like
now,
it's immediate. Like somebody
and now
does
all these
something crazy.
people are huge card fans. Like Livy Dunn's just going to random card shows looking for Paul Skeen cards, right? Is that what's happening?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Just randomly showed up for the Axe Fest, right?
Just randomly was there.
And she knew the comp of the one card she was looking for. Interesting.
I love it.
Interesting. Found a Livy Dunn card actually when I was with Cary at the card shop we're at. Autograph 101.
Ooh,
I didn't buy it though.
He wanted a bit for it.
Yeah.
listen to this. Remember we went through the most popular sports in the world a couple weeks ago? You guys remember what the number 3 most popular sport was?
No.
Cricket?
It was field hockey.
Oh, field hockey.
I bought a field hockey card this weekend.
You found a field hockey card?
I did.
Well, who makes a field hockey card?
It was the Olympic field hockey card.
Ah, that makes
Olympic
sense.
Refractor field hockey card.
So, update on the rookie royalty box here. It's down to 86.25 right now.
There better not have been somebody who paid $25K or something for that. That would really suck.
You think somebody
There's
just bought
no doubt in my mind somebody paid $30,000 for that box.
just to say they paid $30,000 for it?
No, just because of FOMO.
FOMO. Man, I mean, this is 86.25 right now, and it's going to drop again in about 3 minutes. So, but
Dude,
It's
can you
going to
imagine
go
if it-
down to
If it dropped to
$3,000.
3,000, that's going to be a pretty big story, I would say, in the little hobby verse we live in.
yeah,
I mean, think about it though. Like, you're paying for 2 cards,
people pay for one card.
$30,000, not knowing what the 2 cards are.
I get
And
it.
then they thought that they were going to be slick, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, we'll tell you what's in them."
Yeah.
Right. But then people start doing the math. Like, what's the cheapest Caitlin Clark auto right now on eBay? Buy it now.
Oh, that's good. That's a good question. Let's take a
2,000
look here.
maybe? Like,
How much you think?
No, it's probably less
2,000?
than that. I'm going to say 1,200 to 1,500, maybe.
would it have changed? Would this have changed if it was one guaranteed Caitlin Clark auto and then one other card?
Yes.
I think the Angel Reese, just the value difference between the two was a big thing.
Angel Reese's most valuable cards are cards that have Caitlin Clark on them.
Caitlin Clark, 2023 Bowman U new top scoring record rookie auto sold on auction for $997.98.
What's the cheapest? Well, what's the cheapest? Well, what's the cheapest you can buy an auto right now? Buy it now, though, Caitlin Clark.
I mean, I'm looking at autos right now. June 29th, $1,300. June 29th, $1,009. $911.
I would argue that these
$956.
the floor for these is going to be higher
But what if you don't get the National Treasure or the Flawless or the Impeccable, and you get a Caitlin Clark on-card Donruss auto?
I honestly did not know Donruss was in the equation till
Are you
you
sure they're in
started
the
telling me.
equation?
Look, there's got to be a checklist, right?
Let me see.
I thought
here.
they were all going to be like premium style, like
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I
the
thought too, because it says-
not one of ones necessarily, maybe numbered to 300 on some of them, but
I mean, you're getting a rookie downtown or a Kaboom. So that's one per box. And then you're getting either a Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese auto. But I'm looking at the thing. It doesn't find incredible downtown Kabooms, insert cards featuring this. But no, here's a checklist. Oh, they do have a checklist. Let's see the checklist. Interesting.
here's another example of like Caitlin Clark coming in and now WNBA cards, like beyond Caitlin, are huge. Whereas like a couple years ago, it was a very small niche, you know, like WNBA cards.
Can we say that she literally put women's sports on the map for card collecting?
I wouldn't say that she put them on the map, but I would say that there's a Caitlin Clark effect for sure.
She's accelerated it.
It's okay because think about it. Zion and John Morant, right? Neither one of their cards are the top selling cards in the market right now, right? But did they not change the landscape of cards in general, especially basketball cards?
100% they did.
100%
That was based purely off hype. Whereas Caitlin is hype, but like she's she's really. I mean, I guess the guys at least the first couple years really delivered as well. Though.
Oh,
So
I'll tell you this too. If you guys get a chance, follow Trista Kirk. Is that her name? Trista Kicks or Trista Kirk? I can't remember. I feel so bad now. She's a fantastic follow on Instagram. I found out about her a couple years back because she was doing a gambling show on the radio here locally, and now she does like a women's sports podcast. She does all types of stuff. But there's a huge slump right now in the WNBA. Everybody is going through a shooting slump because they've been pushing them to. They changed the schedule. They added more games, and they're playing more games a week, and it's starting to take its toll on the players across the league because people were like freaking out, like, "Oh, Caitlin Clark, they need to shut her down for the All-Star break," and because she was like one of her last like 26 or something like that. But if you look across the board, all of these women, like major superstars, are going through slumps right now. But a lot has to do with it. They just announced today they're adding 3 expansion franchise teams over the course of the next couple of years in the WNBA. Philly's getting a team.
Really?
What about Florida? We were thinking about that. There's nothing in Orlando, Jacksonville, Tampa, nothing in our area.
Miami? You think Miami would have a team? You know what I mean?
Miami doesn't have it. There used to be teams in Florida. I think Orlando had one.
I put up the checklist. There is a Don Ross next day auto. So they do have those in there. There's a ton of contenders rookie ticket autos. They have a bunch of downtowns, elite pen pals, flawless, a ton of flawless, immaculate in there. Kabooms, Kaboom Golds, Kaboom Greens, National Treasures, and then
these are gonna be really fun to watch though on like YouTube openings.
Signatures.
They're gonna be a hoot to see like the kind of value that's coming out of
them.
them.
Spotlight signatures and spotlight signatures. So yes, that's gonna be interesting. What is it at now? $7,500 right now. It's still going. I said the floor is gonna be 5,000. You said what, between 8 and 10? So it's right around where you said.
Obviously.
No. I mean, if it sells out now, you're pretty much spot on. You said somewhere between 8 and 10. I thought. So
I'm rooting for it to go to 3 at this point. Let's see if it can make it to the floor.
Do I buy one at 3? Like,
dude, I don't. Does Rod buy one at 3? Rod buys one at the Rod I know already has
I don't know,
in the shopping cart right now.
Tim, do I buy one if it goes to 3,000? Like,
no,
you don't think so,
bro?
But don't open it. But don't open it. Just keep it sealed. Do you think that will have resale?
Remember,
value?
It's Rod's money. It's not our money.
I bet you it won't drop to $3,000.
I don't think it goes past 5. I don't think
if it gets down to 3, it's gonna like instant sell out.
That's what my thought is right there. But think about it, we just went through the numbers. Like if you're a numbers guy, the math is just not there. Well, some people I saw saying like if it got down to 5,000, like they would think about it, right? Because you're hoping the potential of a Caitlin Clark National Treasures.
What's the 30,000? Now this is alleged, but was the 30,000 thing like in auctioneering? There's what is actualizing the price, the value of an item by starting it as an auctioneer high and then going down, right? Was it showing that they believed that it could be of that value, and then it was almost marketing?
Well, let me ask you this: what do you think a Caitlin Clark 1/1 National Treasures Logo Man auto sells for?
A lot.
500,000.
Yeah, over 100K. I don't know.
No,
what's the most expensive Logo Man ever sold?
We're talking millions.
Oh yeah, Logo Man, dude. Is there Logo Mans in this?
Yeah, she's signing that. I saw her signing National Treasure.
Well, yeah,
and flawless.
500K plus. You're right.
So let's reverse engineer this. What does a National Treasure box go for? 2,500, $3,000? Is it more?
More than that. Depends on what it is. So you have National Treasures baseball. You have National Treasures collegiate football,
licensed project,
and National Treasures football and National Treasures basketball.
Let's compare apples to apples. Basketball. What do you think it goes for? National
Treasures basketball? It depends. Aren't they like $20,000 too?
No, they're not that much. I don't think so. Nowhere near that, right? This might be a question for ChatGPT. I may have to go ChatGPT this. You guys talk for a second while I try to figure this out.
This is the time, Cary.
Yeah, I mean, like
Steve Avery.
Steve Avery, dude. Ron Gant. I think we've said Ron Gant before.
Reggie Saunders, I think you say Ron Gant every episode.
I'm trying to think of a good Brave that I have.
What about Levon Hernandez?
Oh, dude, Levon. What about El Duque?
Ooh, I forgot about El Duque. Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, Hideki Matsui.
Hideo Nomo. Everybody wanted to do the Hideo Nomo windup. Edgar Renteria was a dog. Hanley Ramirez was also really good.
That back when I was telling my story about me going online in college and finding lots and putting them together, one of the showpieces of one of my lots was a Hanley Ramirez. Back when he was the biggest guy, one of the biggest guys. So that was like 06, 07. His stuff was hot. Gosh, I'm trying to think of random.
Have we talked about Jeff
Conine? Oh, you said Jeff Conine at the same time. What about his son, Griffin Conine?
He plays right now, right?
He does. Yeah.
I didn't know his son played.
For Tampa Bay or for Miami? I think he plays for the Marlins.
I think it's the Marlins.
All right, so I got a 2023-24 National Treasure box. DA Cardboard offers them for $4,200 right now, and there's other places that has them listed for $3,000. So I think the MSRP was actually $3,700.
And but think about this: how many cards are you getting in that box in comparison to this box? This is not the more and more we talk about this. That $30,000 price tag is ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. Like I don't.
But is it just for this discussion? They're paying for marketing. If you think about it, they maybe had no thought that it would really go for that much.
Or maybe they want to create FOMO. I mean, you marketing. Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe they did that. The credit, or maybe they didn't know what the market was, so they just one of those things. Let's throw shit against the wall, see what sticks.
So, what is the most expensive Caitlin Clark's card sold? Ask ChatGPT real quick.
All right. By the way, it's down to $63.75 right now a box. It's about to drop under $3.
It go down by 500. Does it go down by?
I don't. I forget. I would have to look here, but
the numbers are random there.
Yeah. All right. Most expensive. I want to say it's like a couple $100,000, isn't it? Autograph.
Oh no, I think she's had like 200,000-300,000. I thought there was one at like 2.
Yeah, I thought. I would say 300. Here we go. Most expensive autograph ever. 2024 Panini Prism WNBA Signature Gold Vinyl Prism 101 rookie card. Sold for $366,000.
Okay, so yeah, so National Treasures logo man would probably sell for like between $500,000 and $750,000.
I would not be surprised if it actually hit $1 million. To be honest with you, just because it's Caitlin Clark, just because of the hype. And knowing that just because Paul Skeens' card sold for $1.1 million, I can see some type of company coming in Indianapolis buying that card and put it on display.
Rod, you can get more than one box too, buddy.
I don't want to shut up. I'm not trying to buy boxes. Dude.
Just see how far that quantity goes up, dude.
You actually can buy 10. Can you imagine buying 10 boxes at $30,000? Like.
Yeah, and then dude, that's like drop. Over 100,000. That's
and then getting the Angel Reese Donruss auto.
Just getting 10 Angel Reeses and then just a bunch of kabooms.
Man, this is gonna be interesting. I cannot wait to see people. When do they ship? Do they even say when these things ship? Like, does it say when they're actually gonna be released? It starts June 3rd. Does it say when? Doesn't actually say the shipping date. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is nerve-wracking for someone. Price drops every 5 minutes. We're down to 33 seconds. It's going to drop again.
15 minutes before it goes out of stock.
Yeah, jeez. I don't know. I think it's going to sell out before it hits $5,000 is the floor. It's going to sell out.
I thought you said 3,000.
Well, 3,000 is going to be. I'm sorry, 3,000 to 4, but I think it sells out at 5. I think 5. If the NBA was going for 3,600 retail, people are accustomed to paying almost $4,000 for that. I'm assuming that. A 20% markup, they'll be fine with that. That's no different than anything else with retail. Wouldn't you agree, number-wise, Cary?
I don't know. I mean, it's the Caitlin Clark effect, really. How much value does that have? It might be. You might be right. I mean, without Caitlin Clark in this product, it's not even 3,000.
Without Caitlin Clark in this product, we would actually never have this situation start out with.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like
this product, yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's technically your fault.
It's down to 5,250 now.
Is it down to 5? Yeah, it's technically your fault, to be honest with you.
At the time I sold that, it was one of the top 2 or 3, I think. I mean, and it quickly got surpassed because that was before a lot of the one-of-ones came out. It was one of the first non college one-of-ones to be. Actually, it was a college one-of-one. Come to think of it.
I cannot wait for that card to go back up the market. Just kind of see where it's going to go. Do you think? I mean, do you think it sells for the same, more or less next time?
That's a good question. That's a really I mean, because there's a lot of things going for it. She's just as hot, if not hotter, than before. It is a national exclusive, which I don't know if that's a pro or a con. It's a beautiful card, and it's unique. 10. Yeah. I mean, I hope if somebody sells it, they make a profit. Meaning, like they definitely sell it for more than I sold it for. But who knows? Who knows? I'm happy I sold it, and I felt like it was about a perfect scenario for me at that time. I don't really hold, so.
Tim, it's, I
think there's a
good
saying
it's Cary's fault we're in this situation. Because if he didn't sell his card, this whole snowball effect wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have a $30,000
When I got that card, too, another angle of that, when I got that card, it was like 2 p.m. on a Sunday. So there was a chance it never even got pulled.
That's crazy.
I mean, it was in the right part of the stack. It probably would have been pulled. But, like, if it was just a little farther down in that stack, or, like, I don't know how slow the sales were at that point. I mean, there's a chance it could be. Who knows what else is still in there? There might be. Anthony Towns, one of one stuff that's.
What was the resale of those packs? Do you have any idea?
$50, right?
They were like, yeah, and that's what I wanted to do. And Don's like, no, go get an actual product. So I got literally the cheapest one that was available, which was a $90 Optic Mega, which was overpriced a little bit, at least over retail. And then I just got my one pack. Because I was like, this is a cool video. I thought I was going to do that opening, and then I was going to do the opening of the Optic in the same video and get like a cool national video. My national videos were doing pretty good, like on TikTok and everything. So, but I ended up doing that Optic box like 3 months later. I'm like, I might as well use this footage. I never really opened it.
Did you hit it?
The whole point.
Did you hit anything from the Optic box?
Nah, I mean,
you should probably ask for a refund.
Nothing. Yeah, I should. They like doing that, right? Asking for giving refunds after you don't get the card you want in a box.
Yeah, I thought that's what it is, but all right, well, let's wrap this up. Tim's in baby duty here. I think it's time for him go. He's literally left the podcast 3/4 of it the entire time of the show. So
it's great content, right?
Yeah, great content there. And then we'll have to let the people realize until next week if I bought a case or not. It's 12 minutes and 32 seconds to go on this.
I'm invested now. I want to know what happens.
You want to know what happens. So,
I've got my quantity at 10, and I'm ready to buy now.
You're ready to buy now? But guys, make sure you guys go check out Dibdit Cards. Go join. You enter in. All you have to do is join the marketplace. You have a chance to win the Optic box for free. Also, I am doing a baseball break on Wednesday night, which is tonight. So come hang out. We're ripping Top Series 2, Hobby Box, and some Bowman.
Me and Tim will be live tonight, 7 to 9.
Yep, you guys will be live right before me. So come hang out. If you guys would like to hang out with the No Bangers podcast, come over to Dibdit Cards. They'll be live from 7 to probably
I've talked to you about this, though, Rod, because we hung out a little yesterday. I feel like it's No Bangers and Rod podcast at this point. It's just No Bangers and some guy named Rod.
You know what's funny is that Cary's kind of like, allowing Rod to take the heat for being the non-no banger guy when Cary was the original non-no banger.
Yeah. Cary has sold a card more than all of us combined here. So,
and you guys are of total have more 101s pulled between the two of you guys, like multiplied by 5 of what I've pulled.
How many 101s have you pulled, Cary?
I pulled out of packs 3.
I pulled 2.
I got a T. Higgins black draft prism 1/1 with a mark on it out of a blaster. I got a Nikola Jovic 1/1 Superfractor, whatever they call it, out of Flux, which is a terrible product.
What'd you get for that, by the way?
$400.
Okay, you sold it raw.
Yeah, I sold it raw, and then
you sold yourself raw. That was a dumb question to ask.
Well, the Caitlin's like the second. Maybe I've graded maybe 6 cards total. No, actually maybe a little more because I did Arena Club a little, but like I graded like under 20 cards in my life.
Wait, you graded through Arena Club in the past?
Yeah, I did. I did like some stuff with Arena Club, like their grading and their sales platform. Didn't do like the mystery pack stuff, but I did that a little bit and stopped. And then I did. I tried a couple cards through SGC.
Okay.
And then I only did PSA.
Did you send the none in yet?
I'm thinking about taking it with me to the National and dropping it off somewhere.
That'd be cool.
But PSA, they'll do like same day service or same show service, but it's like I think a minimum of $150. I was hearing today from Neo Cards and Comics.
Oh, okay.
I might just take it to CG. I probably should have, like, if I knew CGC was going to be at this card party thing beforehand, I don't really care who grades it. I just want it just so people don't say it's not authentic, even though it is.
Actually, when I see you next, just give me the card. I'll send it with my submission because I'm actually going to be submitting some of those cards in. And
I
then
really am in no rush to get it back. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll sell it when I get it back. So,
But we're down to 3 seconds right now, 2-1, and it's actually just dropped to 41.25. Holy hell, that just dropped almost $1,000.
Told you.
Wow, I did
There's
not.
got to be like some psychology behind that. They're trying to like get people to. There has to be like some AI like figuring out the way to pressure point. Like oh man, it's so close. We don't want to miss out, right? Or
Maybe it's
people
best.
don't care.
Do you think it's no? Because they had the time step. Every 5 minutes it drops a certain price, and they already had the floor set up. So they must have had some type of program put in place to start out with. But anyway, let's get the no bangers here. Tim, do you got a break this week?
No break this week. All right,
No break,
Camden.
okay.
This is your first no bangers on
Camden's
3,
getting
okay,
ready.
bud? All right. No bangers on 3. 1, 2,
1,
3.
2,
No
3.
bangers!